I'm gonna do a little weather forecast for Eclipse Day. This is right now, the American model. As we roll through this week, see a pretty significant storm system develop and move out over the northeast. Quite a snowmaker. A lot of snow up there in West Virginia where it was. As we move into the 5th and the 6th here, you see this new storm system. This is our major concern right here as this begins to develop on April 6th into the 7th. Where exactly, I don't need a sounding. It's not going to help me this far out. Where exactly that system develops and where it decides to move off to. Now we're sitting at April 7th, and as we move into Eclipse Day, and it's kind of just hovering up there, it's a different spot, and then it kind of transfers its energy back down to the south here and comes together toward the 9th and the 10th. This actually showing quite a later deal than I've been seeing, which is good for us, though there's still quite a bit of precipitable moisture over Missouri, even in that scenario right there where we're looking at April 8th. Let's see what we got on some other models in this time frame. This one's not ready for me yet. Let's see if we got... For some reason they're only giving me 90 hours of the Euro, so I can't get up to April 8th on that. I have to use this version. Let's see what they give us for the 8th. Just again, with that little system trying to come together out here to the west of our potential viewing area. Very similar to the GFS this time. And it transfers back to the south toward the 10th again. But on the 8th, actually looking pretty decent right now, as this system that forms to the north kind of pulls everything up and out. And both these models are showing very similar scenarios right now, which is a good thing. When they're in agreement, usually that's more likely of a scenario that's going to happen. As we pull into April 9th, pretty clear. Let's see, we got one other major model, the Canadian, that we can look at in this vantage point. Very similar scenario here also. Wow, that's a good thing. April 8th we're looking at right here. As it pulls basically what that area right there is going to be a front, and behind that should be fairly clear. And all three major models showing very similar scenarios right now, and not showing, Canadian model also not showing this little storm developing until a little bit after the 8th, toward the 9th and the 10th. And this was our major cloud player over the last few days. The timing has backed up on that quite a bit, which is very good for us. What about temperatures? Let's see if I can pull some temperatures up here where we're going to be at. Here we go. Let's go into the Midwest. Maybe. I've never looked at this area. I guess I could use this one. So yeah, that's it's only going out to, this is the 9th. So Eclipse Day, looking at highs in the upper 60s to 70. Overnight lows in the upper 50s in our area. Even lower 60s. It's going to be quite warm the first few nights. But as we go farther into the forecast period, let's see what they got. Euro's very close to the same, a little bit cooler. As we go into Eclipse Day, oh wow, upper 70s, near 80 on Eclipse Day. And it kind of stays warm the whole time we're up there. All the way up through Friday, then it starts to cool down again. But we've got, let's see what American model says for Eclipse Day. A little bit cooler there. Near 70. 48 in the morning when we wake up. Be good camping weather. Let's take a look at the cloud cover models that they've been posting here on Pivotal. I love this. They actually made their own page just for looking at the eclipse path. This is the Canadian ensemble. This is actually the more reliable of the cloud forecast models, now showing only 38% cloud coverage in our area where we plan to view. Anywhere from 35 to 40% cloud coverage, which is not that bad. We'll definitely still see something through that. Let's see what they got on chance of rain. Chances of rain have decreased since yesterday, again because of the timing of that low that we looked at just a minute ago, backing off to the west and originating a little later. Only 20% chance of rain, which this is probably overestimating a little bit. They usually do at this amount of time out. Let's look at the cloud cover from the GFS. They usually way overestimate, but they've come down significantly also, as these were in the 70s and 80s yesterday, and now we're down to 50s and near 60% cloud coverage, which is still okay. We'll still see something, just probably not quite as much as we want to see. And it also depends on the height of these clouds, if these are high clouds, if these are storm clouds, or what type of clouds we have, and that is way too early to even think about trying to predict that. See what the GFS says on rain chances. Very similar, 20 to 30% chance of rain. And the European can only give us chances of rain. It's also very similar, 29, 30. Some up toward 40 as you get more south toward where that system will be originating. But that's about it. And now we want cloud cover. How much these numbers have decreased over the past couple days. Almost the entire eclipse line now in 20-30% cloud coverage. And as of yesterday, this was significantly higher. And trends, again, what I look for, I think I've said that once before, are in our favor still at this point. They started to back away from our favor for just a little day or two there, but right now, when we really want to see them go in our favor, they are, and models are getting in much better agreement on the scenario of what we're going to be seeing by next weekend. So just keep our fingers crossed that this map stays like this, or maybe even gets a little better over the coming week. And I'll post a couple more updates. I don't know how I'm going to release this one. I'll probably put it on my YouTube and send out a link. But yeah, things are trending toward the good. Forecast confidence, we would still say, is probably low to medium at this time, as opposed to very low as it has been for most of the week leading up to today. Forecast confidence will continue to increase, obviously, as we get closer to this time frame, but I'm liking what I see today with that model agreement on where the positioning of the storms are going to be next weekend. Alright, that's enough weather nerding. We're keep hoping for the best for our eclipse adventure. Alright, now I gotta get out of this and stop it. OBS Studio.